any shape, form, or fashion. You don't even need strong grape juice if you got any kind of addiction issues. Health pillar number 6, limit meat, sweets, fried foods, and the full filling. Limit meat. I'll talk some in the future about even vegetarianism. Vegetarianism does not guarantee you a longer life at all. The longest living people in the world are not vegetarians, but they don't eat a whole lot of meat. The government has now been issuing the guidelines for years. Cut down on the amount of meat you eat. Americans eat way too much meat. So you limit the amount of meat. You don't have to eliminate it, but you limit the amount of meat that you eat. You don't eat a whole lot of meat. You don't eat a whole lot of sweets. You don't eat a whole lot of fried foods, and you try to stay away from the full filling. There's research in the book called The Blue Zone, which deals with all of the long-living people all over the earth, and they all have certain criteria in common. All of them eat meat, but they don't eat very much of it. And all of them only eat till they are 80% full. They never stuff themselves. So if you limit your meat, your sweets, your fried foods, and the full filling, try to get conditioned to the point where you don't just stuff yourself at the table and you eat so much you can barely get up. Stop eating before you are full. When they do the studies in lab rats, if they go through what's called caloric restrictions, it literally doubles the life of a rat when they are limited to how much food they can get versus a rat that they give them all they can eat. So limit the amount that you eat meat, sweets, fried foods, and the full filling. Health pillar number 7, get enough sleep. Get enough sleep. Get enough sleep. And there are 10 major benefits of getting enough sleep. Here in this country and in most industrialized countries, we are tired. We're tired. When you travel over in Europe, and their health is much better, the U.S. spends more money than any other country in the world per person on health, but we're number 37 in terms of health. We spend more money. People are all, in arms about what kind of health plan we're going to get. I don't give a hoot about the health plan because I don't plan on using it. See, I'm not worried about what kind of health plan. I want to be on God's health plan. I don't want to be sick in the first place. I don't want to be on any kind of health plan, laying up in the hospital with a stroke, heart disease, got to get my kidney replaced. I don't want to be on any kind of health plan. I want to be healthy so that I never have to use my health card. So we're sometimes focused on the wrong thing. But America spends more money than any other nation per person, and we're number 37 in health. That ought to tell you something. We're not doing something right. But we're tired. Get enough sleep. Sleep will keep your heart healthy. It helps to prevent cancer. It reduces stress. It reduces inflammation. It makes you more alert. It boosts your memory. It helps you to lose weight. Yeah, it does because it reduces stress. It reduces some of the cortisol that cause that. When you're tired, you have a tendency to eat more. And then that's another, I can't get into some of this now, but sometimes you gain weight because you're tired. Naps will make you smarter. Sleep may reduce your risk for depression, and it helps the body make repairs. So that's one thing you want to do. Get into bed or turn that television off. Some of y'all, you're up all night long watching TV, then you got to get up and go to work. You're tired. And then you're wondering why your body is sluggish and you don't feel well, you're catching colds, you got this and all. Get some sleep. The human body is really designed to operate on the cycle of the sun. We're designed to go to bed when the sun goes down and get up when it gets up, when the sun comes up. So we mess up all of our cycles. Get some sleep. And health pillar number 8, have right relationships. There is a major correlation between disease and relationship rightness. Bad relationships, in a nutshell, will make you sick. You need to have a right relationship with God. You need to have a right relationship with family. You need to have a right relationship with friends. And you need to have a right relationship with coworkers. Right relationship will make a huge, huge difference in your health. If you go home every day and everybody mad and fussing, that will make, I would rather, I eat very healthy, but to be honest about it, I would rather have fried pork chops than have to deal with bad spirit every day that's got my stomach. It makes a tremendous difference. So right relationship, to be honest about it, is probably number one. If you get right relationships, do you know it's hard to be sick when you're really happy? When you're bubbling and you're just full of joy. Do you know folk that's really just really happy and nothing is worrying them? You know they rarely get sick. Right relationship. And if you have right relationship with God, that's really all you need, because right relationship with God will structure all of your other relationships. Even when other folk not right, right relationship with God will help keep you right. And it will help keep you joyous even in the midst of all of that. God wants you healthy, people. And the 8 pillars of health, if you listen and follow these 8 things, for some of you it may require some drastic change. But if you listen and follow to the 8 pillars of health, you will feel better. And some people won't do it to feel better, but they'll do it to look better. You'll look better. I remember when I went back from my college reunion and they voted me most preserved man, and which meant I looked more like I did in college than anybody else. And they were coming up to me and said, well, you a preacher, and God has surely preserved you. Well, that's true, but other preachers ain't looking the same. So it's not just that. I had sense enough to follow the natural laws that God had placed in the earth. And when you do that, you don't just feel better, it preserves your youth. And you look better. People will not believe your age. When I color my hair, people think I'm 20 years younger than I am. If you preserve yourself, you will look better. You will feel better. You won't need male drive, men. You'll be sick. You won't need it. See, we made that product for people, for men who are not following God's laws. If you follow his laws, you won't need it. But if you don't follow it, then you need to go to maildrive.com. But if you follow, and I don't need it, I won't take the product. Because if I take the product, to be honest about it, my wife can't handle it. So I don't take it. So if you keep yourself in shape, and if you follow the 8 pillars of health, you will look better, you will perform better in every area of your life, your mind will stay clear, your body will stay healthy, and you won't be sick, and you won't have to worry about what kind of health plan you have. Very simple. That's why God, he preserved his people. He said even with Moses was 120 years old. He said his strength had not waned, and he was just like a young man. He was following what God has told him, the 8 pillars of health. I'll be teaching on a lot of things first Sunday of every biblical month. God wants you healthy. People, we just thank you for joining us today. And I truly do wish that ye prosper and that ye be in health. We thank you for joining us today at Brothers of the Word, because, brother, you need the Word.